What's up, graphic designers? In today's class, we're going to be reimagining this poster called Almost Christmas that I found years ago while waiting for the L train in Bushwick. And one of the things I like about it is that it's an opportunity for you guys to feature your friends, but also to apply a gradient, specifically the solid to transparent gradient. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to learn a new selection method as well as filters. Let's talk about how to do that in a moment. So here are a range of filters, and here are ultimately what you're going to be producing in sort of the first stage of this project. So it's going to be like almost blank. So sometimes students will write almost the weekend. You're going to think it's almost what? You're going to be super creative. You're going to think about what brings you joy. We're going to apply filters, and let's talk about how to create something that maybe looks a little bit like what Zoe produced way back in 2016. This is a throwback. What are we doing, and where do we start? Great question. What we're going to have to do is go to Photoshop, and we're going to click File, New, and we're going to go to Print, and then let's make sure that we're in letter. Orientation is horizontal, 8.5 by 11 inches, 300 DPI. All right, beautiful. And so now what we're going to need to do is queue up all your buddies. And so I've got a few right here. So we've got Isaac, Sabrina, we've got Jet, Nick, and Isaac again. Tremendous. And so there's a few different ways we can do that. We could left click the 3 vertical dots and then do download, and we're going to do that 99% of the time, but for this project maybe we're going to keep it simple. I'm just going to right click, I'm going to select copy image, we're going to return to Photoshop, and then you guys are going to do File, New, enter Command V. Beautiful. All right, that makes sense. Let's do this a couple more times. Right click, copy image, I'm going to return to Photoshop, we're going to click File, New, enter Command V, and what's up, Jet? Right click, copy image, we're going to go to Photoshop, File, New, enter Command V, and then let's grab one more. We can't forget Nick. What's up, bud? Right click, copy image, File, New, enter Command V. Okay, so now we've got all these tabs in the top, right? And so here is what I know. Previously, we've been using what selection tools. So we have had the rectangular marquee. If we right click, make a selection, Command C, Command V, that is not tremendous, right? And I also know that we learned the magnetic lasso, and this is a little tedious, right? And it's kind of a pain in the butt. And if we're going to include like, I don't know, 8 or 12 of you guys, we don't want to do that over and over and over because there's just not enough time. I'm going to press delete. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to press Command D to deselect. What is this new tool? How does it work? That's a great question. What I'm going to do is right click the magic wand, and the very top tool, it's the object selection tool. I'm going to left click it, and then I'm going to hover over Isaac, right? And Photoshop is so smart. We're going to left click once, and I'm going to pull the mouse away. We're going to let it do its magic, and there you go. This looks amazing. And so it did 99.99% of the work. I do see right here, actually I'm going to switch to the move tool so it doesn't get pink like that. I do see here that it didn't pick up everything, so what I'm going to do is switch the elliptical marquee, add to selection, and I'm just going to grab the edge of his face like that, and like this. I'm 100% going to talk to you about other methods of making these selections, but there we go. We're going to press Command C, return to this blank, right? That first thing that we did. I'm going to press Command V to paste. Wow, so easy. That is amazing. Let's grab a few more. We're going to left click the object selection tool. I'm going to click once. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. And I think similar to before, it didn't grab everything. So what we can do is use the elliptical marquee. Add to is selected. The add to selection function is highlighted. And so here, I think that looks great. We're going to press Command C, Command V, and there she is. Let's do 2 more real quick. Quick selection. I'm going to click. We're waiting. Rule number 1, Command C, Command V. Amazing. And then there's Nick. And so check this out. I'm going to use the quick selection tool. And if you just sort of hover over an element, and it's actually processing right here. If I hover over this element, the background is selected. The background is selected. Anything else? Oh, it's just the background and Nick in this case. Okay, so I'm going to click Nick. And we're going to press Command C, Command V. All right. So now here we've got 4 guys, 4 individuals. What do we want to do? We want to add maybe 4 or 5 more. And let's say we wanted to increase the size. We could click on an individual layer and then click and drag and press check to confirm and do that over and over and over. Alternatively, guys, I noticed that layer 4, the Nik layer and the layers palette on top, is selected. If I hold shift and then select layer 1, all 4 layers are selected. If we press Command T, we can then increase and decrease these guys simultaneously. That's cool. I like this. All right, and so now what are we doing? We're gonna have to add that gradient. So we're gonna right click the paint bucket. We're gonna pull up the gradient, and I notice I got black in the foreground, and I'm gonna click this little drop down menu right here. And under basics, I know it's got foreground and background, but the second one right there is that foreground to transparent. And I'm gonna make sure in the layers palette that I'm on that very, very top layer, and I'm gonna click, and then I'm gonna drag, and it's gonna look a little something like this. That looks great. I'm gonna switch to the type tool and make sure that white is in the foreground because we want a lot of contrast, right? And so we still got that Brethne font that we just downloaded, and I'm gonna type in almost, and press check to confirm, Command T, and almost what? Is it almost lunchtime? Sure, almost lunch. You're excited, I'm excited. I'm trying to play ball with the guys. All right, so that looks great. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna write, oh, the joy of in the top. The joy of what? Fish tacos. What are you guys having for lunch? I don't know. But what I do know is that at this stage, if you have time, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add filters to all these individuals. So I'm gonna click on Nik right now, right? And if we click on filter and then filter gallery, filter gallery, it wants us, you know what? We got to make sure that we're on the right layer. We're going to click filter gallery. We've got so many filters to choose from. I'm going to click artistic, and that looks cool. Dry brush, that looks fun. I'm going to press OK. Amazing. And maybe we'll do something a little bit more exciting with Isaac. I'm going to click filter gallery, and you know what? It keeps changing the layers. So you know what? There's Isaac. Filter gallery. And what we can do is we can do a sketch. Let's do charcoal. Yikes, graphic pen. How about that? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to experiment with all these different elements. And this looks peculiar. Let's try notepaper. That's fun. And stamp. Okay, and so what I know is happening, it took me a second to realize what's happening. It's doing that because it's got white in the foreground and black in the background. I'm going to press Command Z, and I'm going to switch it. So black is in the foreground. We're going to click filter gallery, and there we go. That looks a little bit more sensible maybe. And that looks like fun. That looks cool right there. And we'll do one last one. I'm going to click filter gallery. Yikes, you guys, it keeps switching the layers. Filter gallery. And then if we could try stylize, and you can modify the visuals or the details on the right. And you know what? We can't forget Jet. Filter gallery. And let's try texture. We've got stained glass. That's cool, and we can adjust the cell size. And I think that's fun. All right, so it's almost lunch. You're gonna save this as a JPEG, specifically the version with all the filters, and you're gonna save the version without any of the filters also as a JPEG. Cannot wait to see what you guys produce. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.